Doper. Duhopper is a double sword. Hopish is a crescent-shaped sword, or is the ending of the masculine word. Dukoper, the spirit of the P and R. He speaks true peace to the spirit. Some others are possible. It is also possible that the original meaning was more voluminous, allowing these values as shades of the main meaning. In the following years, Bogtikin Mitroslav killed many danavas with this weapon, and the danavas were afraid of Dukoper, calling him a weapon of destruction. Bogtikin Mitroslav and his wives Vidyanta Yesislava and Kalyavani Radoslava were forced to flee the capital city due to the increased attacks of danavs and the betrayal of commoners, and settle in the Carpathian forest by creating a small okram there. Restoring the ruins of the ancient temple of Swark Semi-Aragal, he performed a magnificent sacrifice for the consecration of the temple, and was ranked among the divine mind, becoming Raman. After carrying out this magnificent sacrifice, to which even the gods came, the holy prince Bogtikin Mitroslav received the additional name Hymatagni, the all-conquering source of fiery flame. SagaRA and SagaRA were born there. Radagast and Makosh, the wives of Bogtikin Mitroslav, turned out to be poisoned. Traitors who wanted to destroy the sacred dynasty of the fiery princes, and become specific vassals of the Danav prince. The princely sage Vedraman froze the prince's wives in cryocapsules for 7 years, during which he recited ancient Vedic mantras over them, and blessed them with solar yantras. And after 7 years, in the 8th month of pregnancy, they were unfrozen in order to inform and give birth to heirs to the throne. Techno-scarabs that Vedraman implanted in the bodies of pious princesses suppressed the effect of poison and endowed the princesses with an unusual radiance. On the day of the divine birth, the temple Okram Svaraga was attacked by the troops of the unclean, headed by the heretic king Ernakul Storik. Ernakul the 100-armed was possessed by a mutant with a personal guard of 100 other 100-armed monstrous giants, shaking the earth with their movement. He was accompanied by the Danavas and various wild tribes of sinners. Bogtikin Hymatagni Mitroslav plunged his sword into the heart of Ernakul Storaki, but with this, he did not kill him, but only wounded him. However, the mighty blows of the spirit vampire destroyed both the armor of the unclean, and the magical runes with which the unclean was reliably protected. Having fallen, the unclean Ernakul Storaki shook the earth and frightened his guards, who immediately carried him away from the battlefield. But the rest of the troops attacked the holy prince. Danavas, forest wildmen and rebels who had previously constantly harmed Bogtikin Mitroslav, but this time they fought with all their might. They defeated his most faithful guards, and set fire to the forest monastery. Ancient stone walls melted, metal bent, and ancient frescoes disappeared forever. Hundreds of books, scrolls, letters and sacred attributes collected from the vaults of the temple and the princely chancery disappeared. Bogtikin's forest monastery was on fire and most of the servants died, but his 2 wives gave birth during the fire. Vidyanta Yesislava gave birth to SagaR Ratoslav and SagaR Ratoslav, and Kalyavani Radoslava gave birth to Radagast Pravoslav and Makosh Vaslav. The prince died, taking with him more than 1,000 attackers. The prince's wives also died, but the princely sage Jagoslav survived. Before the last battle, foreseeing death, the holy prince Bogtikin Mitroslav gave Vedi his name Hymatagni, the Dukoper, who later had to earn and inherit SagaR, and the rights to supremacy in the temple of Svaraga. Saint Raman took the children of Bogtikin Mitroslav, and later united the surviving faithful servants of Bogtikin Mitroslav around him. While studying with him, SagaR Ratoslav once asked, "How did Bogtikin Mitroslav initially act to deserve such an incarnation as this?" Then Vedraman replied, "In his previous life, Bogtikin was a poor Raman, which is why, born a prince, he still became Raman. But then he had an only daughter, and he arranged a marriage for his daughter, so that he gave her away when she was asked to perform rites of giving on Christmas New Year. Giving a daughter as a gift for a celebration is a great benefactor, giving great success in subsequent incarnations." Also, that Raman meditated all his life, but in his old age he beat his sacred cat a little, because the cat ate melted butter, and made cheese intended for ritual offerings. This damaged his karma, because anger is vicious, and the cat is sacred. But despite some sins, and in view of his extreme piety, his karma was collected so that he suffered quickly and vividly for previous sins, but also received the happiness of becoming a father to the All-Father. Before the rites of completion of SagaR, Radagast, SagaRA and Makoshi, their monastery was again attacked by the unclean apostate king, the cursed Chronicles. With a blow of the sword, SagaRA removed the top layer of skin and hair from the uncleansed skull, and Radagast broke off the axe on him, but the wounded unclean fled again, and since then attacked Radagast 20 more times, and it ended much later, in the days to come, when Radagast hacked him with a sacred axe. The young SagaRA was very handsome. He diligently studied any knowledge that was taught to him by the wisest Ayurveda Himadagni Raman. On the appointed feast day of becoming a disciple, he took a vow to kill all the demons of the east. At the same time, the wisest Ayurveda conducted a test and SagaR inherited his father's spirit lamp, which he later wielded with extraordinary efficiency and beauty. SagaRA shone and the flames emphasized the brilliance of his muscles. The demons were afraid and the danavis fled looking at the deadly grace of SagaR. Fighting with the spirit, this was exactly what Bhaktikin had seen earlier in visions, and so the omen came true. Soon, with Radagast, SagaRA and Makosha, SagaRA went to the eastern Eurasian lands, where he cleansed monasteries, temples and other sacred places, separating them from sin and household worries. The earth bloomed under his feet, where he passed, and the trees in front of them bowed their fruits. They spent the initial stage of the campaign in 4, having performed 9 feats, but after the last one, the battle to the southeast of the Urals, Makosha went to Iskrastan with the artifacts recaptured from sinners. Further, SagaRA, Radagast and SagaRA performed 18 more feats, after which Radagast and SagaRA remained to restore order in the Altai Principality, and SagaRA went on to perform 36 more majestic deeds. Then SagaRA returned to Altai, to Ilvizakatha city, from which the 3 of them went west to Iskrastan. They stayed there for about a year and gathered their strength, and went to rebuild the capital. 9 feats. 1 intimidation of the Black Sea Danavis, 2 the killing of the Cyprid tribe on the Volga, 3 deliverance of Algasavia from the curse, 4 the imprisonment of Chungakvakraj, 5 strengthening of the Sahatha city, 6 the cleansing of the northern lands from Danavi spies, 7 the elimination of Danavian false teachings and civilizing activities, 8 the closing of the great mouth of the mountains, 9 the overthrow of the trans-Ural kingdom of techno-magicians, and the taking away of their main artifacts of power. SagaRA Ratoslav took the additional name Arislav Mstislav and went with his sisters and the surviving soldiers to retake the borders of the capital Rat city. Radagast Pravoslav did not join them then, but organized from the faithful Slavs the first punitive campaign against the Donavs and 100 monstrous giants of unclean Ernakul. SagaRA Ratoslav, SagaRA Ratoslava, Makosha Svaslava and their loyal troops besieged the capital Rat city, and soon the Danav garrisons were knocked out of it, and the conspirators and traitors were executed. At the same time, Radagast Pravoslav successfully executed 50 Danavian generals, defeated their troops, and the standard-bearers, castrated, blinded, and took away 1 arm and 1 leg each, sent them as a warning to the Danavian prince. SagaRA Ratoslav gathered the residents of the city, and addressed them as follows. I have risen from the burning flames of the fire. I am the prince of flame, fire and conflagration. I have come to burn all sinners. I am the ruler of the stinging flames of the burnt offering. I am SagaRA Ratoslav. My names are Arislav Mstislav. I avenged my father and burned all the traitors and rebels. I am SagaRA, the son of Bhaktikin, Radagast's brother, Ayurveda's disciple, SagaRA's husband. I am the grandson of Asistar Bogoslav and Verslava, the great-grandson of Askabha and Vasukansha, the great-great-grandson of Radian Gyadarth and Kalyavadia saint. My ancestors defeated the Danavas and built cities generations before me. My ancestors are Yura and Iskist, Opomunisal, Pramisal and Ramadai. I have come to burn and rule the ashes. I have come to revive from the ashes those who will follow me through the agony. I am the Prince of Fire and the Prince of Fire. I am the Sun Falcon from the dynasty of Solar Falcons. I am the death of the obsolete and the rebirth of the truth. Thus began the fiery reign of the king of the burnt offering. After that, SagaRA announced the introduction of his code of laws and began to rebuild the city. SagaRA took up the punishment of unfinished sinners, the construction of schools, hospitals and shelters, and Makosha taught family order, and the management of a canonical household. The coat of arms of the king of the burnt offering was a triple flame of white, yellow and red flashes. Such a triple flame was depicted on the black banner, and Radagast fought under a banner with the image of the sun,